It's time for Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. Let's head to Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Calling the action tonight alongside Rod Higley, here's NCW Life Channel Sports Director Eric Grandstrom.
Welcome to the NCW Life Channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill, filling in for Eric Grandstrom today. Jimmy, looks like kind of a nice day for lacrosse and a good team from Central Valley here today.
Well, you know what? It is going to be a good game.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Channel sports broadcast of high school lacrosse. Joined now by Coach Brandon Parker. Brandon, good half of the season so far and a good game last night.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one loss. We went down to San Diego and won all those games. We had the toughest game of the season last night against the at the time, other first place team, which is no longer the first place team. We're solely in first place in the conference. Tough game last night, and I'm proud of where we are so far. We're on the right track.
Well, this team comes in, Central Valley, just one loss on the year. They've kind of cruised through the Spokane League. What do you know about this team?
Well, yeah, I mean, any team that's got one loss is a good team. So they've been blowing out their opponents by 10 digits or more. What I know about them is that they're a good team, and they have the ability to score goals, and they're going to be tough, and this isn't a walkover game whatsoever. So we're prepared. We have a strategy, and I think we're going to come out on top, although they will be a tough challenge for us.
Yeah. Sounds real good. Jimmy, any questions for Coach?
Last night was a really tough game on you. You had to play a lot of people tired. Do you think that's going to affect your game day today?
That's a really good question. It possibly will. We played lights out, 100%, push guys to the limit last night. We're going to hope for the best. I mean, I always figure, it's not like us. I mean, these are 17, 18, 16-year-old kids. They got to be able to do it, right? So I'm hoping they'll come out and have the energy and bring the same intensity they did last night, and we'll be okay.
Well, good luck, Coach. And
thank you.
Okay?
Well, thanks a lot, Brandon. We'll be back on the NCW Life Channel High School Lacrosse in just a few minutes. Back to the North Central Washington Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. We're just in time for the face-off. Jake Reiner against Brian Monroe for Central Valley, and Brian Monroe comes away with the ball. Here we go, Jimmy. Time for lacrosse.
Here we go. It's game time. It looks to me like it's going to be a good game. We got a little bit of rain coming down here. It's going to make things a little bit exciting. It makes the ball skip a little bit on this surface.
Could be quick. Beck Martin with the ball. Moving it on down to Cole Cunningham. He's one of their top scorers, averaging about 5 goals a game. Wenatchee sets the defense. Looks like Quinn Rounds out there starting the game.
Yeah, it is. We have Tucker is not in the game today. He's out on some personal reasons, and so Quinn Rounds gets the start today.
Sounds good. And here comes Central Valley back up to Brian Monroe. They're a quick passing team. Like I said in the pregame, these guys are averaging almost 16 goals a game, so you expect them to be firing at the goal here pretty soon.
I would think so. I mean, they're in a Maryland set right now. They're just moving in and out of crease. Look at there. We've got
ball
the
down.
steal.
Yeah, Easton Hudson just flicked it back to Kyle Robertson in goal, and here comes Wenatchee. Now, Central Valley really is disruptive on the clears, so this is very important for Wenatchee to get the ball up the field. Jack Myers looks like he's going to get it up there for him. Getting up to the box, get the touch in the box. There it is. So takes care of business, and he'll come back off the field, and Jackson Bowles heads on for Wenatchee. Roby Jorgensen with the ball up top. See what Wenatchee can do today. They'll try to work the ball. Last night against Richland, did a great job in the first quarter working the ball around.
I don't know that I've ever seen a better lacrosse game than what we saw last night in the first quarter.
That was a huge victory for Wenatchee, a 10-6 victory over the rival Richland. So Wenatchee, for the first look, is 5-0 in their division. That's great news looking into the playoffs. Jake Reiner with the ball.
It looks to me like we got Mason Dahl back probably on the bench just a little bit. He got picked up some injuries in the hand yesterday, and so it looks to me like Justin Bowles has got the start for Wenatchee here.
Jackson's going to get the ball, get him more playing time today. You know, it's good to get some of these younger guys some real experience as well. Gray Coldy looking to make a move, and looks like he's going to get it. Oh, nice defensive stop there. That's their goalie, number 6. Spencer Auth is his name. Nice play. Ben Higley with the ground ball, and he brings it back up. Jackson Bowles up top. Over to Roby Jorgensen. Roby's been hot lately. He's been scoring a lot of goals and doing just fantastic.
Yeah, he's just getting stronger as the season goes on here. Right now is when he needs to turn his game up anyway. I mean, he's a senior. He's going into his final part of the season here.
Connor Tilley looking to make a shot there. Didn't get much on it, but it's backed up, so Wenatchee should retain possession.
Great defensive play by number 13 there. Got right on his hands, and he couldn't follow through.
So Coldy with the ball, back up top to Jackson Bowles. Feeds it over to Jake Reiner. See if Jake Reiner sets the play. Back to Bowles. Looks like he's setting for something here. Got the clear out. Not much of it. Oh, he's clear. Got the shot and the goal. Jackson Bowles with a tally, the first tally of the game for Wenatchee, and they go up 1-0. It's 8:46 here in the first quarter.
Wenatchee with a great little nail play right there.
You know, I didn't think the screen was set, but Jackson was quick enough to get free on that and get his hands loose and get the shot. And we got Jake Strom coming out for the face-off now, and it looks like it's going to be Beck Martin. Well, I can't quite read that. Is that a 2 he's got? I can't read the number on the Central Valley player there, but definitely Jake Strom for Wenatchee.
Looks like Jaron Thomas maybe.
Okay.
20.
That would be Jared Thomas, and we'll see what Jake can do. He was dominant last night.
Boy, I'll tell you what, both of our face-off guys last night, I think, lost one face-off all night long. Which is just huge. And Jake picking this ball up off the carpet slowly, but he gets it. See if we can get it on up the field. These guys are really aggressive, trying to keep. There's Mason Dahlbeck's back in the game already, so he must not be hurting too bad. He must not be hurting too bad. Oh, I can see he's all wrapped up there on the arm, though, but...
He's a kid that once you get the adrenaline flowing, he's not going to feel too much.
Oh, it may not have successfully felt good.
That's too bad. That's too bad. He must have taken a stick last night in the game against Richland.
He did. He took a stick. He actually got hit twice. He got hit right on the wrist, and then almost looks like maybe a fractured finger or something on the right hand. So.
Oh, on his feet, Connor Tilley almost gets the corner. Ben gets the ground ball there. Ben Higley on the rebound. He back up to Roby Jorgensen and over to Strom. And now back to Reiner. Connor Tilley gets some of these angles like no other kid on the field can do. But let's see if he can feed somebody here. Oh, little high on the pass. And let's see if Wenatchee can keep control.
Oh, that's going to be an over and back call.
Okay, now they better get back in business in a hurry.
Yeah, because this is a free start here. They don't have to... It shouldn't even be a whistle. It should be a free start, but that's okay.
Cole Bowden with the ball for Central Valley. He drops it off to Beck Martin. See Central Valley's offense again. So far, they haven't been in a real hurry. I was expecting them to be a real quick passing team, and that may come here pretty soon.
Well, I already expected to see some drives from this number 3, Easton Carter. I kind of want to see him really get...
That kid's scoring a lot of goals. And here they go. They almost throw the ball away, and let's see if... Yep. Jack Myers scoops it up. Nice ball all the way all the way. And he doesn't turn it. I thought he was going to take it all the way to the rack, and he didn't do it. And we got to scramble for the ball, and the goalie's able to pick up the ground ball.
We got a loose ball push on.
Okay. I didn't know.
Central Valley. So we got Ben Higley's up top with it now.
Yeah, so a little break there for Wenatchee. Like I said, I thought they were going to have an open shot, and they almost turned the ball over, but they were lucky enough to get it back. Roby Jorgensen looks like the drive, not the shot. Back over to Gray Coldy, behind to Tilley. Tilley's looking. Jake Reiner up top. Jackson Bowles. And over to Roby again. I feel a shot coming on here pretty soon. Nope. Good defense. And looks like they came away with the ball. That's Josh Renault with the ground ball and the good defensive play. And that might be a push.
That's going to be a penalty.
I hear the Central Valley coach saying thank you to the referee for making a call there. So let's hope there's not too many penalties today. It always slows things down.
It does, yeah. I mean, both of these teams, I think, are pretty clean players. So
Definitely.
I don't see this thing getting out of control. And our referees today will stay on top of that. They've certainly started it with a little mention right there. So
Back up top, we got Brian Monroe with the ball. Back over to Beck Martin. Monroe, and that's the guy that can shoot. Number 9, Brandon Phelps. He's got, I thought he was 4 that was going to be taking that shot, and that was number 8, actually, Garrett Burns. And he does have a few goals on the year.
He does. Few assists, 3 goals. Definitely not their leading scorer by any means.
That's a shot. Nice save there by Kyle Robertson.
Robertson. He had a great game last night.
Oh,
my
really
gosh. These guys got to have welts and bruises all over him because he took it everywhere you could possibly imagine to get it.
This is their game, trying to be disruptive on the rides, and Wenatchee turns the ball over on the bad pass. So that's what I've been hearing from some of the guys over in the Spokane League, that these guys just do a really good job on the transition, and they get a lot of unsettled goals.
And I haven't really got to analyze how they're doing this. It looks like some type of man zone in the middle, but I'm going to get a better look at it here next time.
That's Brian Monroe bringing the ball up for Central Valley. Number 4 looking like he's going to take a shot. That's Cole Cunningham. And he's just going to run it around the backside. Back to X. Looking for somebody. He's going to try and take it himself. There's 10. Nice play, and he disrupted. I think that was Quinn Rounds that got a piece of his stick.
Yep, Quinn Rounds got on his hands there, and he couldn't follow the shot through. So
Cole Hansen on the defense there. Ball down, and it looks like, Mason Dahlbeck, he's going to get this one. I'm pretty sure. Nope, it's Alan Butcherite running away with it. That kid's so fast. It's so nice to see him running up and down the field.
This guy is a rocket. We didn't. Oh,
has a bit of a check there.
Got a good check right there by number 11.
So we get a push on Central Valley. So Wenatchee maintains possession. Mason Dahlbeck with the ball up top. He flicks it over to Roby Jorgensen. And Jake Reiner back on the field for Wenatchee. Down to Connor Tilley. Over behind the net to Gray Coldy and up to Ben Higley. See if Wenatchee can work this ball around like they were doing last night. It sure was pretty watching that Richland game.
Boy, it was, wasn't it? I mean, unbelievable ball skills by our kids here.
Gray Coldy with the ball, looking for something. He's going to drive on 15. He puts it in the net. Nice goal there for Gray Coldy. And Wenatchee goes up 2-0.
Rod, he just wedged that thing through a opening that I don't think the ball was able to fit through. That went between his leg and the pole, and I think it snuck in right next to his kneecap.
That's got to be frustrating for a goalie when you've got a big defender right in front of you, and you know the guy is working on him, but it's hard to see where the ball is going to come from. Okay, back to the face-off X we go with Jake Strom out there for Wenatchee, and we've got Brian Monroe back out there for Central Valley. Like I said, Strom really has been coming on these last few games on the face-offs. He's taken that knee brace off now, and that was the move he was making last night where he pushed it ahead and got it, and Easton Hudson comes away with the ground ball. Nice play by Wenatchee there on the face-off. Ben Higley with the ball, getting a touch in the box. Over to Tilley. Flicking it back to Gray behind the net there.
Yeah, we'll slow slub in right here with Roby Jorgensen, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see a nail call. We've got their defense way out, so
you're starting to see a little bit of movement back and forth across the box there, and then Jake Strom back over to Ben looked away from the ball, and it looks like he was going to lose it there. He was able to pick it back up, but he looked like he was looking for the shot before he had the ball in his net.
He was making a cut there, and the ball came a little bit early, so he wasn't quite prepared for it yet. But
here comes Roby Jorgensen going left, gets the shot off just wide. Backed up by Connor Tilley, so Wenatchee retains possession, which is, as long as if you're prepared having your guys behind the net like that, it doesn't hurt you too much to miss a shot.
Nope, and as coaches, we want them to shoot wide. We want them to grab the corners, right. And if they shoot wide and they miss.
Another shot by Connor Tilley, puts it on the carpet and puts it in.
Great shot, little sidearm. But great shot. Puts it off the carpet. Like I said, with this little bit of this rain out here, it's going to make that ball skip a little bit. Actually gains speed.
Yeah, and tougher for the goalie to pick it up off the carpet like that.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. I mean, it's all luck.
And with this turf, it does just skip. So we've got our first time out in the game. We're going to keep it right here, Jimmy, and just wanted to say that this broadcast is brought to you by the Wenatchee YMCA. It's so nice to have these broadcasts on the NCW Life channel, sports broadcasts. They do a great job. They've got the Wild going on again tonight, who they won big last night in their opening championship game. So Wild's just doing fantastic.
Yeah, I went to the last series and watched a couple of the Wild games, and man, they are in tune right now. So hopefully they're successful and they'll win another game, and I'm just hoping I'm not going to be able to go tonight, so I'm hoping they're going to come back again so I can see them one more time before the season ends.
So there's a possibility that they would go up to Prince George and win too, assuming they win tonight, and then it'd be all over.
It'd be all over. We wouldn't get to see another game. It'd be done.
That's a long bus ride, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if the team might be a little tired when they get there.
Well, I'd be shocked to get this far to the end of the playoffs that the other team isn't going to at least escape one win out of the whole thing.
You would think at this point of the championship, and this is all she wrote. So you dig deep for something like this. Well, so far Wenatchee, 3 different guys have scored. Jackson Bowles with the first one, followed by Gray Coldy, and then Connor Tilley with the third goal here in the first quarter. We've got about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. Wenatchee looking pretty good so far. Are you surprised they're out 3-0?
I'm not. I am a little bit surprised, actually. I thought the Central Valley team would come out a little bit stronger and shooting a little bit more. I've only seen about 3 shots on goal from them, and for as high as scoring as they've been in their league, I would have thought we would have saw a little bit more shooting out of them. But maybe they're playing a little conservative. Maybe they want to try to wear Wenatchee down a little bit.
Well, that could be, but they could be tired as well because they're coming. This is their third game in 3 days. They played Thursday, Friday, and now today. So they've been playing a lot of lacrosse and division lacrosse, just like Richmond last night. It takes a lot out of you. So they could be a little flat here in the first quarter. Okay, you got Jake Reiner out there, and again, it looks like it's Jaden Thomas. Midfielder, must be a long. Does he have a long stick out there, or is he a short stick midi?
Nope, he's short stick midi.
Okay. See what Reiner can do on the face-off.
He's a big kid too.
Flicked it back. See if Easton Huston can pull this one off the carpet. And it looks like Jackson Bowles
comes up with it.
He's got some wheels. He's going to bring it up the field himself, get a touch in the box, and then pull it back out and let Roby Jorgensen get on the field. So that's typically after the face-off, you make a little switch there unless you've got a fast break.
Yeah, so normally what happens here is we put in defensive midfielders for the face-off, and then we'll do a slow play and get offensive shooters in. So
just in case it goes the other way, you've got extra D pulls on the field.
Right, yeah. So we try to keep an extra long stick on there for defense.
Reiner reels and shoots just wide. And Wenatchee's backed up there with Ben Higley with the ball. He'll bring it out, see if he can get a shot off. Nope, he pulls it out, gives it back up to Reiner. Reiner over to Jackson Bowles. Bowles down to Tilley. Tilley working it around. Over to Gray Coldy. It seems like they try and pull it out, and Jackson Bowles, it looked like he was going to take a long rip, but he decided against that one. Gray Coldy with the ball. And he turns around and flips one in.
What a T-dripper that was. That's a second goal for Coldy. He may be on his way for a hat trick today.
Well, I think last time we were here, he had a hat trick. In first game of the year, he had 6 goals. So that kid's on fire this year. A lot of Wenatchee players. The scoring's been spread out quite a bit, but a lot of guys are really kind of getting it going right now.
They are. I don't know that I've ever seen quite a 3 combination attack that we have going on right here. Every one of those guys is an athlete. They know how to shoot, and they know the offense like the back of their hand.
The cool thing I think that I've seen with these 3 attackmen, Ben Higley, Tilley, and Coldy, is they work so well together. It's really fun to watch. Okay, Wenatchee controls the face-off, and we've got Mason Dahlbeck up top with the ball. He's looking for a little play off the screen there, but it didn't happen. Over to Ben Higley on the outside. Back to Tilley. He's looking for a cutter. Almost had him there. He's got Roby Jorgensen up top, and he's going to pull it back out. Nope, he's going to drive. Going left. Oh, nice feed. I thought he had Tilley there. Okay, turnover for Wenatchee. And
we're just in a standard set right now, too. Wenatchee's just running a standard Maryland right here. I haven't seen him go into a Z set or anything, or we're playing man-to-man. Until they start shooting, it looks to me like we're probably just going to stay man-to-man defensively.
Wenatchee doing a pretty good job on the right here. Ben Higley giving Harrison Heckerman quite a battle. And ball's down, can't quite reach it. Easton Hudson's battling for it, and Cody Easley comes away with the ball. He flicks it back out the middle. We've got Jaron Thomas with the ball, yep. And Four's got the ball. He's that's Cunningham, and he's their shooter. Let's see if he can get one off before the end of the quarter. We've got about a minute left in this quarter, first quarter. Back up top, back to Brian Monroe. Thomas.
I expected that Cunningham to be a little bit bigger guy, Rod.
Well, I heard he was small, but I heard he was awfully quick, too. So expect him to make a move here. He's got Jack Myers on him. Jack Myers is a good D-midi and a big body, too. He's a strong kid. Monroe looking to make the shot. You got a flag down. Must be a slash. You got the pass. Oh, nice block by Kyle Robertson. So on the penalty, we'll see what the penalty is, but Wenatchee's going to go a man down here with 26.5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Mason Dahlbeck.
We'll see what the call is, but I'm sure it's a slash. Yep, there we go.
Slash on Dahlbeck.
1 minute releasable,
So you got your man down defense. You've got 26 seconds to go, so they've got some time to work this. What would you expect Central Valley to try and do here? Get short time in the quarter.
I can clearly see they're in a hat zone, so they're gonna work the ball around the top a little bit, and they're gonna look for feeds because we're in a zone. We're on a box and one here, and so they've got to keep the ball out wide, try to pull it as far out as they can, and then run feeders through the middle of the field to try to get a goal.
Well, they're letting it run down, so it looks like they're just going to hold on to it till the end of the quarter. And as time runs out in the first quarter, we've got it. Score 4-0 Wenatchee, and we'll be right back with more action from the Apple Bowl on the NCW Life Channel sports broadcast of high school lacrosse. Welcome back to the NCW Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Wenatchee up 4-0 after the first quarter.
Yeah, quite surprising, Rod. I thought Central Valley would come out a little bit stronger than what they did in the first period here, but you know what? It's a 4-period game, and some of these coaches come out here and they play that the theory of trying to wear the other team down. So this might be what Central Valley's looking for, we hope.
Just spot them 4 goals and see what happens after that. So they're doing the stick checks, and it looks like they're talking to Connor Tilley out there. He's getting a stick back, so that's a good sign. I don't know what the referee was saying. Maybe it's right on the edge as far as a deep pocket goes.
Yep, and the problem with it is the rain. The rain really stretches a pocket out. They're made out of nylon, and so you got to really be careful because he'll get an illegal stick, and that's a 3-minute unreleasable penalty.
Yeah, and so they ran timeout in the quarter. They retained possession. They got about 30 seconds left in the penalty. So Central Valley's got the ball. That's Beck Martin with it. He looks like he's going to try and get a shot off, and he does, and just misses it. And Cole Cunningham comes away with the ball. Like you said, this kid is a lot smaller than you thought he was because he's scoring so many goals a game. I mean, 8 with the ball, back over, got Cunningham again, and he looked to go low, and he hits the pipe. That kid's going to get some shots today.
Yep.
And you can tell that the other the other players are looking to get him the ball when they can.
I'm just kind of surprised we haven't manhandled him. Oh,
look at that
play.
move.
Wow.
But Kyle's right there to stop it. You know, it's anticipation a little bit in goalie, and he tried to take that high, and Kyle was right there to stop it. Now, here we go, the ride. Jack Myers able to be in the position.
He's got open field. Look at there.
That's nice.
That was a breakdown, that had to be a breakdown in their ride right there.
They weren't really on it, were they?
No.
Jackson Bowles back in the game. He gets the ball down to Ben Higley, going back behind the goal to Greg Coldy, and up to Connor Tilley on the edge. Tilley's got a couple of shots and a goal today. Back up to Jake Reiner on top. Back over to Ben Higley. Looks like he's pulling it out a little bit, trying to stretch the defense. Over to Jackson. Tilley thinking about it. He takes his shot. He likes that angle. He's not afraid to shoot the ball, I'll tell you.
No. he loves that little corner angle over there, and it's his shot angle is not very good at all, but he sure slims it in there a lot.
It's crazy how he does that, but I think it would drive a coach crazy looking at some of those shots. A little bit of a turnover here for Wenatchee. You can't save it. So unforced errors really will turn things around in a hurry. You see it all the time. You start making turnovers, and all of a sudden the other team gets a goal or two, and completely changes the complexion of the game.
It does. The turnover factor of that right there is really a mental thing for teams. They get down, and all it takes. I mean, if Central Valley rolls the ball down right here and puts it in the net, it will be a mental killer for Wenatchee.
Harrison Heckerman with the bringing the run up from the D with the D pole, and in back to Beck Martin with the ball. Now sun's starting to come out, so it's looking a little better for the fans out here today. Kids probably don't care if it's raining a little bit.
No,
got a high pass, and unable to control it is Cole Bowden. And it looks like the ball they're still fighting for it. And 18, Cody Easley comes away with it. Mason Dahlbeck trying a little ice pick on him there. Yep. I think is that a legal play there, Jimmy?
Well, it's a legal play, but he's supposed to keep both hands on the stick when he does it. So any referee could call that if they wanted to.
There's Cole Cunningham back up top.
Man, Central Valley is struggling getting from player to player.
You got Brian Monroe with the ball. Jack Myers on the D. He's just going to run it around to X. See if they've got a cutter, and they do. It's 8. Who stopped that ball?
No, we got a crease violation.
Okay.
So number 18 pulled the shot off that Cody Easley.
Yeah. I thought they had one there.
I thought it was in the net, but it must have bounced out Kyle's net or something. I don't know.
Or
that was a tough
a body. Mason Dahlbeck brings the ball up. He's looking for something. He's almost free. Got a whistle. Timeout, Wenatchee. Now, that is their first timeout of the game. Central Valley took one in the first quarter. So, second quarter didn't really start out like the first quarter did. It looks a little bit sloppier from both sides of the ball.
I think that's why Coach Brandon just called the timeout. He wants to get his fellows in here and just say, hey, we're not going to play down to our opponent. We're going to play like a state championship team, and we're not doing that right now. So we're going to talk this thing over a little bit.
Now, you were on that San Diego trip where they played 3 teams down in California. At times during that tournament, this team looked really sharp. I mean, early in those first couple of games, they just really were on it. How do you figure? I mean, I know they're high school kids, but they're so kind of on and off on this team.
Yeah, it's I think that's the mental part of it. Every one of these kids has great skills. So Coach Brandon's biggest thing to overcome is going to get these guys mentally prepared where they can come out in the first period and play with a mental attitude that is at the highest level for 4 complete quarters. That's what this is a perfect game to work. He's got a 4-goal lead here. This is when you got to work on it. This is when you got to say, hey, boys, this is where we're mentally breaking down right now. If we are going to go all the way, which every coach's dream is to go all the way and play in the state championship, if they're going to get there, they've got to get that under control. Yeah,
and 4-goal lead really isn't that much right now. And, they've got to stay consistent and stay focused. It's, they've been playing a lot of lacrosse, so you don't want them to kind of go to sleep, especially here so early in the game in the second quarter.
Nope. And I think that's why you called the timeout there. It looks to me like we're back into a Maryland set. We're actually
up top to Roby Jorgensen. He's whipping it over to Jake Reiner. Reiner finds Tilly. Tilly with the ball, looking for a cutter. He's got nobody moving. Back up top to Roby. And let's see what they do here. Are they going to clear it back out, do you think?
So they're in a zone, so we're actually going to go into a Maryland Z set. So you're going to see 4 people on a flat back zone right across the middle of the field with a guy out front and a guy at X. And they're just going to move around and try to confuse them a little bit and try to keep the ball and look for feeds in the inside. That was not clearly a feed that we needed right
now.
There.
A little too much traffic in there, and Central Valley's got the clear, and they've got a bit of a break. And this is where they score their goals. They're in transition and unsettled defense, and they throw the ball away. I don't think that one's going to he's able to pull it back in. That's Beck Martin with the ball up top for Central Valley. A bit of a break there for Central Valley. They almost turned the ball right back over after they had the break. Okay, let's see if they can get something going here offensively.
That Cole Cunningham, just look at him. He is sneaky, man. Look at there.
He's all
back
by
there.
himself.
Nobody's even looking at him back there.
Yeah, he's just kind of hiding behind the crease. He's right on the edge of the crease, waiting for the ball to come to him, which I'm guessing will come to him after 2 or 3 passes here. He's looking for it right in front.
He's right in front of the.
Who's supposed to be covering? Is that Sage Kreider's? That's a zone?
Yeah, we're in a zone right now, so he's really not going to have a man on him, but as players run into zones, then they need to be picked up. So.
Cole Hansen's got him now, and he's trying to make a move on Cole, but Cole's quick enough to handle that. He can't get the shot off.
Nope.
That's good D, and Sage Kreider, that's just got to drive you nuts having that basket come into your belly like that. Back up top it goes. That's Cody Easley with the ball.
It becomes a mental deal is when you're taking that basket and you're just banging it against the guy. I mean, they get frustrated and they either turn the ball over or don't get a shot off.
Beck Martin brings it back behind the net over to Cole Bowden with the ball. They've got about 4 guys that do most of their scoring, and Bowden's one of them. He's got 14 goals on the season. Looked like they were going to get a shot off there, but the ball is down, and it looks like Jackson Bowles came away.
Jackson Bowles, yep. Good defense by Wenatchee right there.
He needs some help. He's got 3 guys on him. They're going to have 3 guys on him in a second, but he's able to twist his way out of that and just run it on up the field. You better watch out. He's going to get pushed out of bounds.
Yep, I think he did.
No, timeout.
No, timeout White.
Yeah, so Brandon Parker saw that he was in trouble over there and didn't have much help, so he decided to call the timeout. Timely timeout. We've got 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. No scores yet in the second quarter.
No scores, yeah. I kind of feel like Central Valley's being a little conservative here. I expected a little bit more shot taking off of them. What do you think they've got for shots so far today?
It's not more than 4 shots.
Not 4. Yeah, I was going to say 4 or 5 shots at the very most.
And I think Kyle's got 3 saves. So they've been on cage for the most part. You haven't seen a lot of balls missing. Robertson's just off to a great start for Wenatchee in goal. He had that one right in tight and just right in his net. So he's blocked, I think, 3 shots so far today.
Well, I got to tell you, I've got to work with Kyle a little bit because I coach with Thomas Bass.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's the goalie coach, and so he is a great kid. I mean, he's a good kid. My gosh, does he work hard at what he's doing. And, boy, these last couple of games have sure shown his success of being committed to the game.
Yeah, and that's a position where you just have to maintain your focus. I mean, you're really on an island back there, and you've got your defenders that you're working with, and you're calling the defenses and things, but you're really the goalie is a unique mindset to begin with.
I just don't. I mean, hats off to any goalie that is in the lacrosse league whatsoever, because
and he doesn't wear any pads really. I mean, his legs are exposed.
He wears a shoulder and a chest pad. No stomach. He got 2 this morning. I had to look at him, and he's got 2 raspberry-looking things on his stomach because he doesn't wear a stomach guard. He only wears chest, so it just comes down to the breastbone.
Well, I think some of those guys kind of like those battle marks, and goalies tend to be a different breed altogether.
They're a different breed, but man, I'm telling you what, I was shooting with Roby Jorgensen here a couple of days ago, and man, I'll tell you what, if I had to stand in that cage, I'd be bailing out.
Not a chance. Jake Reiner with the ball. He flips it over to Tilley, back behind the net to Gray Coldy, and Gray Coldy's going to set something up from the corner, pulling everybody out. He's got Ben Higley up top. Ben working it over to Tilley. You've got your attack guys up top, and Roby down on the crease side. He's going to run it back to X. A little bit of a change-up as far as the offense here. Roby's got the move. Flicks it back around, goes right-handed off the pipe. A little bit of a tight angle there. Let's see if Wenatchee can get to it. I think they retain possession.
Yeah, they should. Even though it bounces off of a player, even it's a Wenatchee player, they still hold possession if it's a shot. So
Roby Jorgensen working again. He wanted that one, but he pulled it back out up top to Gray Coldy. Coldy looked like he's calling nail here, so we'll see if they clear out for him. Got the screen, didn't quite get his hands free. He's going to whip it back over to Ben Higley. Ben takes a move. He's got 2 guys on him. He's not going to get free. Back over to Coldy. Coldy going the other way. He's tough D there by 27, and the goalie gets the save. Greg did get the shot off. So that's Spencer off in goal for Central Valley, and he gets it up to Beck Martin, and Beck Martin brings it on up. You got a long stick out there with the ball right now. I can't read his number. I think it's number 13. That's Harrison Heckerman.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. On their defensive set, they had 2 long poles clear out on the top, and normally you don't see that. Normally you see a defensive midi short sticker up there, but they had 2 long poles up there.
Do you think that's because Wenatchee was kind of moving things around?
I think it's because they were pulling some shots off up on top and made a few things, and they've made some adjustments here.
I see. That's Brian Monroe with the feed.
With a feed, yeah.
Yeah, and Cole Cunningham's able to chase that one down. See what he can do from up top.
It was a little bit hot there for Cody Easley, but
you've got Easton Hudson in the game trying to cover that number 4. He's quick, and he does not get a shot, and it looks like Sage Kreider is able to flick it back to Kyle Robertson, and Mason Dahlbeck's out over the middle with the feed, and Wenatchee gets a nice clear. Over to Tilly had the ball, and he was looking for a shot, I think. Roby Jorgensen with a hit, and Ben Higley gets the ground ball. Come on, Ben, run it up there. You know, I got to cheer for my own kid once in a while, right?
Yeah, you gotta cheer for Ben.
Yeah, I
love that kid.
He's not the biggest guy in the field, but he's got a pretty big heart.
Yeah, he does. But let me tell you, he's low center of the gravity. He grabs almost every ground ball he goes after.
Roby Jorgensen getting it over to Coldy, back to Tilly behind the net, and they're going to restart it here. You got a cutter.
Yeah, they're all going to come now.
Yep. Defense got his stick up and knocked the ball. Looks like Jorgensen's just going to run it down. No pressure on him. And it's kind of, they don't need to pressure that ball. They don't have a shot at it, so they might as well just stay back and play defense.
Yeah, they don't want to give up an easy goal right now. They've actually held us scoreless here in the second period.
Yeah, It's completely different. We got 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Wenatchee, Ben Higley with the ball. He's going to try and make a move. I think he almost had him, but he didn't quite make the turn. Roby Jorgensen back over to Tilly. See what Tilly's going to try and make this edge again. Yep, he made the move and got the shot off. And it's backed up, so Wenatchee retains possession. So here we go, 2.5 minutes to go, 2:41 exactly. And Wenatchee's going to try and set something up here and get another goal. Ben Higley driving. And he's almost got the turn. And back up Mason Dahlbeck. He wanted to take a long outside shot. Flicks it over to Reiner. Roby Jorgensen with the ball, and he'll just jog it on back to X. It seems like they like to start a lot of the plays from behind the goal.
They do, yeah. They'll get behind the goal, and then they'll call out a play, and they'll go from there. I got to say, Central Valley's defense is pretty good.
Yeah, they just picked it up quite a bit here.
They did.
You got a little cutter there. Ben's free. Back to Tilly.
From how we deployed him in the first period, they have sure made some great adjustments. What a great shot there, though.
He bounced it about 10 yards in front of the net, and you can see the black of the turf field bouncing up, and the goal right in. So Tilly gets
Connor Tilly gets his second goal.
Yeah, it's so.
It looks to me like this goalie. He's really good. Everything above the kneecaps. So. There for Wenatchee, that I'm sure Coach Brandon's going to talk to him at halftime and let him know, hey, we need to put this thing on the surface a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like they have had more success when they have put it on the carpet. I think that's 3 of the 5 goals have been off the ground. Okay, we've got Jake Strom out there at Face-Off X, and when they're turned like that, I can't see the other guy's number, but it is Brian Monroe, their main face-off guy, and he's able to come away with this one.
That's got to be one of the first face-offs Jake Strom's not got in the last 2 days.
Yeah, sometimes, they flick it out there and it's just a matter of the edge guys, but that was the main face-off guy that was able to pull out that ground ball. Got a turnover. They threw it out of bounds, and Wenatchee's going to get possession back. Let's see what they can do. Like I said, it looked like Central Valley's increased their intensity on these rides. Let's see what they do this time.
Yeah, and they're running a man ride. I'm quite surprised here, but that means there's nobody on the goalie because they don't have enough people.
And he's just slowly bringing it up.
That's what he's supposed to do. He just bring it out here, and they're going to look for a midfield cutter. There he is.
You got the Connor Tilley comes up and grabs the ball. Hey, nice clear by Wenatchee.
Very nice clear compared to what we had in the first period. Man ride, though. I'm shocked that their speed can match up with us in a man ride.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens as this game progresses if they switch out of that. Tilley back to Coldy behind the net. Coldy making a move. You got Ben running, but Coldy's free. Little push, but no call. And I guess there is a call.
There it is. Ground ball push. Loose ball push, actually. Sorry.
So Wenatchee retains possession. We've got under a minute to go. 57 seconds left in the first half. That's Luke Job, number 13 in the game for Wenatchee.
Scores 5-0. I wouldn't be surprised if Wenatchee will try to get one more shot off.
I think here coming right now, Roby Jorgensen with a rip, just a little outside.
He's just a little off today, isn't he?
Well, he is, shoot till you're hot, right?
Yeah.
Known a lot of basketball players that had that mentality.
Yeah.
Jake Reiner with the ball. Down to Coldy. I must have got his stick hit because that wasn't much of a pass.
Defensive play by number 20 there.
Running down to 20 seconds in the first half. Coldy gets it up to Tilley. Tilley's going to work it up to Job. Job's going to get it over to Jorgensen, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jorgensen goes for a drive here. Nope. Back to Coldy, and he's going to run it around, see if he can get that edge. And he's got it. But not much on that shot.
Not much on that
and
little skipper.
The half ends, and we've got a score 5-0 Wenatchee after 2 quarters of play. We'll be back at the Apple Bowl in just a few minutes. Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel Sports. Welcome back to the NCW Life Channel's broadcast of lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Jimmy, your impressions of the first half, 5-0 Wenatchee, a bit of a surprise.
A little bit of a surprise here. I thought the Central Valley team was a little bit stronger than what we're seeing right now, but their leading goal scorer hasn't even popped a goal in yet, has he?
No, he's had a couple of shots. That's Cole Cunningham. He's a lot smaller than both of us were anticipating. I heard he was small, but the kid must be about 5'5" and maybe 130 pounds at the moment.
Yeah, I am thoroughly shocked at his size compared to the amount of goals the guy has scored in that Spokane league. That Spokane league's a pretty tough league.
Well, you know what? It's a little bit weaker this year because a lot of those teams have had to separate it out. So, before they only had 4 teams, now they've got 7. So some of those teams are not, ready to go. They don't have JV teams. Wenatchee's kind of at a luxury because they do have the JV squad that won again today against Central Valley. Central Valley is the biggest team in the Spokane League and the most experienced team next to possibly Gonzaga Prep and Lewis and Clark. Which are the other 2 schools? Mount Spokane, I think they have to divide next year. So you've got a lot of kids playing lacrosse in Spokane, and right now it's kind of diluting the product a little bit.
Right. Yeah, and I mean you can clearly see that's a little bit of a case right here. Wenatchee is a very, very strong squad this year, but Central Valley made some great changes in the second period defensively because they held them to 1 goal in the second period, 4 in the first. Looked like they were a little confused, but the coaches made some adjustments, and they've held them to 1 goal in the second period. So could be a game changer for the second half of this game. Yeah,
well, let's hope we get a little bit more excitement in the second half. I mean, I'm not wishing that Central Valley comes back and wins this game by any means, but it's nice to see some competitive lacrosse.
Yes.
Just want to do a little housekeeping here. Wenatchee Valley Lacrosse is sponsored by the YMCA for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. Appreciate their help in getting this broadcast on the air. The coach's interview today, Brandon Parker's interview, was brought to you by Heritage Memorial Chapel, a funeral home with a heritage owned by a trusted friend. Brandon Parker's got to be pleased at the progress of this team so far this year.
Yes, I think he has. I really do think the bubble here really started when we went to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of team bonding down there. These kids really got to know each other. You know, they had to house with each other down there. It was a straight lacrosse trip where, you know, parents weren't really involved. These kids had to room together, and they ate breakfast together, they ate lunch together, they ate dinner together, they went to the beach together.
And they played lacrosse.
And they played lacrosse, yeah. So, and let me tell you, I think that is a bonding.
It goes a long ways.
It goes a long ways.
Yeah.
I mean, mentally, physically, that bonding just makes teams good.
Yeah, well, we'll be back with the second half action here on the NCW Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. Looking forward to see what happens in the second half. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill, getting ready for the second half action. Jake Reiner out there on the face-off. In the first half, Wenatchee had 4 goals in the first quarter, started by Jackson Bowles, Gray Coldy, Connor Tilley, and then Coldy again. And in the second quarter, just 1 goal. Connor Tilley had a goal, but Central Valley really picked up their defense there in the second quarter.
They did. They made some adjustments and picked things up a little bit. Now we just need to see if they can turn their offense around a little bit.
Well, you know, things can change in a hurry. They've got Brian Monroe back out there for the face-off X, and this is a team that's used to scoring 16-plus goals a game. So they're kind of in a situation they're not familiar with, you know, playing from behind.
Yeah, they definitely they're not used to this by any means.
Which, we were talking at halftime, it's kind of a surprise. I think both of us are a little surprised. Jake Reiner controls the face-off, brings it on down, finds Ben Higley, and let's see what Wenatchee can do here in the first possession in the second half. Gray Coldy with the ball. Got some changes. Roby Jorgensen back on the field, as well as Jackson Bowles. So they got their first starting offense out there, the same guys that started the first half. And Ben Higley with the ball down to Tilley behind the net. He'll bring it back the other way. Back up to Jorgensen up top, and he's going to call a play. Looks like we're going to get a move on going left. He's got 2 guys on him. Wheels back to the right and rips a big shot. That one's coming at you in a hurry, but again, he's just a little off today.
He's just a little off.
Do you think that's because he's got the 2 defenders on him and he's just not able to get his hands completely free?
You know what? I don't know, but let me just tell you. Last night, Roby in the Richland game, he threw his guts out on the table.
Oh, that was just a fantastic performance by a lot of guys for Wenatchee. The 3 middies did a fantastic. Jake Reiner had a fantastic game. Mason Dahlbeck did as well, but Roby had key goals and a key assist in that game.
And I think after a while, the fatigue has got to bear in with that.
Ben Higley with the drive.
Nice by Ben Higley.
And a nice save by Spencer Auth, the goalie for Central Valley. And Brian Monroe brings the ball up. And
wow, he's fast for a big guy.
He is a pretty big guy. We don't get any stats on the size of these kids, but he's probably 6 foot, maybe 175 pounds, something like that. Flicks it on over. Beck Martin with the ball. And they're going to work around. These middies, their attackmen are pretty small. 18's not a very big guy, and we already talked about how small 4 is.
Yeah.
Brian Monroe with a shot, and nice save there by Kyle Robertson. And it looks like Cole Hansen is battling for the ball, and he's going to come away with it. Nice defensive play by Cole Hansen. He gets it back to Kyle Robertson. He's going to clear it out to Jack Myers. Jack Myers, it's on the carpet. Pass was a little low, and Sage Kreider's going to come away with a ground ball. Nice job by Sage, and he needs to get that ball up in a hurry, and Mason Dahlbeck's there to pick up the...
We got a 2-on-1 right here.
And here it is, Gray Coldy against the goalie, and the goalie stops him. He came out and just basically took it right out of his stick, and they get a clear. So not quite a clear yet until they get into the box, right?
Right. Yeah, they're still counting right here. He's got a... This is going to be pretty close of a possession turnover.
He's not in a hurry to get it up there, is he?
No, he's not, but he's in now, so the hand goes down.
Oh, nice feed, and there's the guy, Cole Cunningham, with the quick stick from Brian Monroe. So here we are, just the start of the second half, and Central Valley gets their first tally of the game.
Well, we can clearly see now what number 4's job is. He has got a quick stick on him. What a release. That ball barely hit there, and he was already moving forward.
Yeah, he was right in position. Monroe was able to find him right on the edge of the crease there, and he just, like you said, just a split second, that ball's in the net.
Yep.
By the time Kyle turned his head, that ball was past him. Back to the face-off X, we've got Jake Strom starting it off, and that was Jared Thomas on the face-off, and Easton Hudson comes away with it, gets back over to Strom, and Wenatchee's able to bring it up.
And Easton will fly off, and here comes Jake Reiner back on the...
Tilly with the ball, running it back to back to X, over to Ben Higley, up to Mason Dahlbeck up top, and they'll work it over to Reiner.
I'm pretty sure the Coach Brandon would like to see them just move the ball around here and get comfortable. Looks to me like they might be a little bit on edge here, and they need to just calm down and start controlling the pace of the game.
They certainly do. The last couple of passes, you've seen some balls on the carpet, and you just got to calm down and take care of the ball. Back up to Tilly. Tilly's going to make a move, and he drops the ball again. That could be the defense getting on those sticks that's causing that ball to come out of those sticks.
Yeah, I think their defense for Central Valley has definitely picked up their game.
Mason Dahlbeck with the move. He gets clear, and he gets a shot off, and another save by Spencer Roth. That goalie's pretty good. Like you were talking earlier, he'd put that on the carpet, and he was able to stop that one low. Got the ride going for Wenatchee. Beck Martin over to Conrad Bertone. Haven't seen his name much yet today. Deep hole, flicking it on up, and he throws it out of bounds.
Throws it out of bounds. What a great ride by Wenatchee.
So on those rides, you were talking about the where you put the man, everybody's on the man. What does Wenatchee do on their rides?
So they run a zone ride is what they do, and so they'll have 3 attack guys on the 40-yard line, and once the guy moves into the 40-yard line, they'll double team him. And they'll use a zone ride on the rest of the midfield. So,
Jake Reiner with the ball, gets over to Ben Higley. Ben back behind the net to Tilly. Tilly's going to run it around, see if he gets that corner. Nope, not there, so he's going to pull it back out. He's looking for somebody.
Ooh, yeah, he had Gray Coldy there for a second, right on the crease.
Roby Jorgensen with the ball. He's going to make a move. Not there. Over to Mason Dahlbeck. Mason Dahlbeck was thinking about it. He's not real comfortable with that hand, but he turns and throws one out there. He didn't get as much as he normally does on that shot.
He's looking for a sub right now, and he's hurting. He needs to.
He probably should maybe, you got another game. There's a series of games next weekend, 3 games. I think it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So he might want to just take a little rest here. You got Cole Cunningham with a nice feed over to number 8. And he can't get his shot off. That's Garrett Burns with the ball. He's going to flick it back up to Monroe. He's going to rip a shot, and Kyle Robertson's up to the task. Another goalie save for Robertson. He gets it out to Roby Jorgensen, and Roby's just going to run this one up himself, I think. Nope, he's looking for some help. Flicks it across. Jack, that's just too high. So that's the kind of mistakes that are going to kill you in this game. I mean, they're only up by 4 goals. And Central Valley is saying, hey, we've got some life here.
Yep, all they're doing is creating doubt in their own mind, and they're creating we could get this game back, Central Valley saying in their mind. So it's...
Well, they've got to be encouraged by the start here in the second half. Monroe with a drive. He's got the move, and Robertson with another save. And Cole Hansen comes away with a ground ball. He's fast, and he runs it up himself. He's got some room, and the ball is down on the carpet, but Cole's right there to get it back again. Oh, 3 times.
Ball's down again.
He does the right thing and gets it over to the sure-handed Gray Coldy, and Coldy's just going to run it around back to Axe. He's going to flick it over to Ben Higley, and Wenatchee's going to put some more players on the field. You got Jackson Bulls and Luke Joe back on the field for Wenatchee. And again, another bad pass, and it's over and back. So Wenatchee's not doing a real good job taking care of the ball right now.
No, I'm anticipating a timeout here by Coach Brandon. He's got to get these troops back on the same page. They're all, this is not typical Wenatchee lacrosse.
Monroe with the ball up top. He's looking to drive. He's got Jake Reiner on him. He's free, and there it is again, that quick stick. You see that feed right across the middle to that Cole Cunningham, and that time he just was wide on it. So Quinn Rounds was quick to the line, so Wenatchee gets the possession back. Let's see if they can get the clear. Alan Butcherite with the ball at the 40-yard line. He's a fast player. Let's run it up himself. And he does. He's going to take a shot. No. Yes. Oh, he feeds Coldy, and Coldy did not quite get it on and get it out there. Coldy gets the ground ball, but I think we got to push.
We're going to get a loose ball push right there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but, not a bad looking feed there by Alan Butcherite to Greg Coldy. And balls on the ground again. A lot of balls on the ground here in the third quarter.
Yeah, people just aren't taking care of the ball right now. Oh, he had a great ride right there. I don't know where his help was, but
that's Harrison Hackerman with the ball, bringing it up for Central Valley. He gets it back out to Cody Easley, and they'll reset their offense. Jaron Thomas with the ball, and he'll be calling the play. They're getting everybody set.
Sure looks to me like they used number 11 over there, Brian Monroe. He seems to be their drive guy for sure.
Turn and rip, and this ball is going to be controlled by Central Valley, but looks like Sage Kreider is out there trying to give him a little bit of difficulty, making it a little rough on him. Jared Thomas with the ball, back over to Brian Monroe, and here's that play. They've been looking at that guy right in front, and there he is, but Sage Kreider is able to disrupt it, and is he going to get this ground ball? Nope, looks like it's Jove almost had it, and he gets pushed from behind, and I think Wenatchee's going to get the ball.
Yep, it looks to me like a loose ball push here. Looks like he almost had him.
Nope, it's staying with Central Valley.
He must have stepped out of bounds. He's pointing his finger down towards the line.
Yeah, when the ball's on the ground like that, there is a lot of pushing and shoving, so how do you, if it's in the back, it's just, sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty blatant, and, nothing there seemed like it was totally out of line, so just a bad ground ball movement by Wenatchee there.
Another poor pass, Brian Monroe with that one. He's frustrated himself. You can see that he's frustrated, and I'm sure the coach is frustrated.
I think it would be frustrating for everybody. I mean, Central Valley gets Wenatchee on the ropes and then turns the ball over.
Right. Kyle Robertson with the ball. You've got that man ride. He's just going to walk it up.
He should just walk it up because this is a man ride. He doesn't need to pass that thing.
And he makes
an open guy just like that.
Yeah,
yep.
Jackson Bowles moving towards the ball, and he gets the pass, and he's able to touch box, and Wenatchee's going to set up their offense.
And kind of what I was talking to you about earlier, Rod, I was really surprised that on a man ride they could keep up with the speed that Wenatchee has, and now we're seeing that happen.
Right.
That they've been able to man ride all these other teams and be very successful at it, but Wenatchee is so athletic that that's just not going to happen with us.
Well, speed's so important, and Wenatchee does have a lot of players that can. Tilly with a shot, but it was very wide and right at a defender. And he's having some trouble getting the ball up the field, but he's able to find Hackerman for a second. But Jackson Bowles comes with the ground ball. He's in trouble. Wow, that was he called timeout, but it looked like there was some heavy sticks coming down.
Wow, there was a few hits to the head right there. I'm kind of surprised the yellow flag didn't fly.
Yeah, Hackerman had that stick above his head, which usually gets a call. I don't think you're supposed to bring the stick down from above like that.
No tomahawking.
Well, we've got a timeout here. It's Wenatchee's first timeout in the second half. 2:28 to go in the third quarter. Wenatchee up 5-1. It's slowed down a lot. I mean, in that first quarter, I thought Wenatchee, I thought we were going to see a very high-scoring game, but the way it's looking right now, we might finish this game with under 10 goals altogether.
Well, you know what? It sure looks that way. I am still shocked by some of the moves that the coaching staff from Central Valley has made. They have just shut the offense down for Wenatchee.
Yeah, well, they've got some obviously some talent on the team, particularly on the defensive side, which is surprising because I thought they'd be more of an offensive team looking at the stats that you have on Sportability. But right now, their defense has kind of been carrying the game for them.
Yep, and so I think we might see an exciting finish to this thing.
They're in it. I mean, 4 goals is nothing, particularly for a team that scores 16 a game.
Right.
So they could get firing. I mean, you saw that one goal, how quick that happened. Wenatchee better be on their toes here as we near the end of the third period.
Kind of surprising, but number 4, their shooter, is got no stick in his hand, no gloves on. Almost looks like he could have maybe acquired an injury.
Well, that'd be unfortunate for them. You see who's back on the field in attack, and I can't see the kid's number. He's a big player comparatively, number 9. That's Brandon Phelps moving on the attack zone for Central Valley. Roby Jorgensen with the ball for Wenatchee, gets it over to Jackson Bowles. Jackson will move it on down to Gray Coldy, and he'll find Ben behind the net. Ben's going to bring it back up, going back the other way. Back over to Roby. Roby's going to make a move and see if he can get a shot off left-handed. He does. And Spencer Roth, the goalie for Central Valley, is up for it again. Gets it up to Brian Monroe, and he'll just run this one up himself. And he gets it all the way to the box for the clear, and he's going to go all the way to the net. Tried to feed it over, and there was no one there. Central Valley is fighting for the control of the ball. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and Cole Hansen comes away with it. Good play by Cole Hansen. He flicks it back to Kyle Robertson, and Wenatchee will see another opportunity to clear the ball. Jackson Bull, he's got somebody on him, and there's Ben to pick up the ball from the ground. He's got to clear open to the net, see if he puts it in. And he does.
And he does. Nice shot, left-handed, Ben.
Good shot from Ben, one-on-one with the goalie. And he brought it in there almost all the way, almost ran into the goal himself. But got the shot off, and with 1:25 to go in the third quarter, Wenatchee goes up by a score of 6-1.
Yeah, that's a breakaway right there. You can't, you can't take that away from anybody. He's just got to drive that straight at the goalie and make the goalie let him make his first move and then go the opposite direction.
It's been a while since we've seen a tally for. I guess we've had one for each team here in the third quarter. Back to the face-off, and looks like it's Jake Strom out there, and he pushes it forward and pick that ball up, Jake.
Yeah, Jake, come on, stick a fork in that thing and just pick it up.
Yeah, sometimes you see these guys trying to pick it up with one hand. You're like, come on, man, put 2 hands on that stick. Ben Higley with the ball, moving it back over to Connor Tilley. Tilley back up top to Mason Dahlbeck. Mason Dahlbeck looks to make a move. Thought he was going to take that shot. Back up to Roby Jorgensen. Jorgensen. And he gets a shot off and puts it off the carpet and in the net. And just like that, within a minute, we've got 2 quick goals.
Yeah. Now they're going to step on the gas, I'm afraid.
Well, Jorgensen, we talked about it. He was so hot last night. And now he's got one in the back of the net. He gets a hug from Coach Rounds there. He's ready to go. He probably wants to get right back out there and get another shot.
Yep. He was just he was kind of in a mental zone where he wasn't quite in there, and now he's where he needs to be. So
we've got Jake Strom out there against Jaron Thomas for Central Valley. Strom's done such a great job at the face-off X these last few games. He's just really, really coming on. And this time, just as I say it, the Central Valley player is able to beat him on the ball, but Strom's still fighting for it. All 3 of them are fighting for it, and it's number 98 that comes away. That's Andrew Bollinger. I haven't heard his name. He's a sophomore, and he's got the ball, and he's going to run it up. Trying to find somebody.
Yeah,
and he makes a bad pass. Easton Hudson is able to come away with it.
He was looking for some help there, and nobody got it.
He was tomahawked.
There's a penalty down. You can see that. That's a cross check. But Easton, the LSM for us, he's the guy who usually gets punished the most. He's one of the smallest kids on the team, but one of the biggest hustlers. That's why he's out there. He just took a hard hit. It looks to me like he'll go back and get looked at a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have Reiner down there, the trainer, take care of everybody. And so, these guys, we've been very lucky. There's been very few injuries this year for Wenatchee.
Yeah, and I'd like to just say hats off for all the people that are outside the scene that do so much work for Wenatchee Lacrosse. That, like Joel Reiner here.
Yeah.
He's our AD guy, and
he does so much for the team, and loves it. I mean, I think he just loves being part of it, as do a lot of the parents. Tilley with the shot. So Wenatchee's man up here. They've got about 4 seconds left in the quarter. You think they're going to try and get another shot off here real quick? They turn the ball over?
I think.
It looks like they did.
I don't know about that. That's not a very good call, I don't think. That's a shot, and it doesn't matter who it ricochets off of. It should still be Wenatchee's ball.
And that's the end of the third quarter. So here we are after 3. Wenatchee's up by a score of 7-1. We'll be back on the North Central our NCW Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse in just a minute. Welcome back to the NCW Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Jimmy, kind of a quiet quarter for Wenatchee until right at the very end.
Yeah, it was a quiet quarter. We were kind of thinking that Central Valley was getting some of the momentum, but, man, Wenatchee just comes out and bangs 2 goals out right in the last minute of that period.
And they take the 7-1 lead. The only goal for Central Valley in this game came early in the third quarter when Cole Cunningham was able to get that feed from Brian Monroe, and it was a quick stick right in the back of the net. But Robertson for Wenatchee has just played fantastic goal today so far.
Yes, they have that Cole Cunningham has really got a quick stick on him, and he has missed a few feeds that I think he probably should have capitalized on, but there's been amazing goalie play by Kyle Robinson today in goal. So hopefully he can keep that up for the fourth period, and we'll go out of here with a nice win.
Now, we were thinking that Cole Cunningham was maybe hurt, but he's back in the game. And we've got Monroe bringing the ball up for Central Valley, and he drops it on the carpet, and Jack Myers is able to come away with the ground ball. Big play there by Jack Myers. He's really played well this year as a defensive midi and has had a couple of goals as well.
Yeah, he has. He is a very solid defensive midfielder.
He's a pretty strong kid. Jake Reiner with a feed from Tilly, and he puts it in the back of the net. And here we are. Here we go again. Wenatchee gets another goal, and they go up 8-1. So starting the fourth quarter with just less than 30 seconds gone, Wenatchee puts one on the board.
I think we're seeing a little bit of Central Valley here struggling a little bit with their just mentally getting broke down in this game. I mean, they were so good in the second period, but I think fatigue is coming on to them a little bit, and I'm afraid that Wenatchee's going to maybe pull them apart a little bit here.
Well, yeah, I mean, 3 games in 3 days, and they had a big game last night against Mount Spokane, which is one of the better teams in the Spokane League. Jake Reiner controls the face-off, and here we go again. Wenatchee on offense, over to Greg Coldy, down to Tilly. Tilly's looking for somebody, back to Connor, or back to Gray, and we've got some changes. Roby Jorgensen moving on, as well as Luke Joe. Robinson down, and what's his name? Roby Jorgensen.
Roby Jorgensen.
Down to
Ben
Tilly.
Higley, over to Tilly. Oh, and
who's that?
Jackson Bowles.
Who's that number 35 running up with a D-stick? That's Ethan Brooks for Central Valley. Gets it over to Cole Cunningham, and he's going to pull it back up and start the offense. Ball on the ground. That's Beck Martin with the ball. Oh, looked like a little bit of a hack, but no call. And that was Bowles with the defense.
He's got the ball at X. He's trying to move around looking for a cutter. Not there. Number 4, their best scorers, got the ball.
Boy, he's just been frustrated all day.
He's going to get it.
Somebody got nailed in the middle. Didn't see the play, but he's in pain and he's on the ground. He's moving around. He's holding his head, but you never know exactly. He's getting up. I think he probably just got either the wind knocked out of him or a low shot to the abdomen area. But he's rolling over, and I think he's going to be okay. He looks like he's going to get up right now.
Yeah.
No, it's his knee.
It's the knee.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's Cole Bowden. He's a junior midfielder. So he's limping off the field. Looks like he's got his knees wrapped, so it's probably one of those injuries that's just
probably an existing injury, and he probably just that's maybe why he was pounding on his head on the surface. He knew that he probably re-injured something that he had already injured this year.
Yeah, that's so hard. You're playing so hard, and here you are in a game, non-league game, 8-1, down 8-1. And just playing your heart out, and you get injured. That's too bad. Hopefully it's not something that he can't come back from this year. Okay, here we go. Central Valley with the ball. They work it back to X. See if they can get something going here offensively. That's Garrett Burns with the ball. He's going to get it back up top to Beck Martin. Yeah, they're probably going to work some guys in. Again, the ball gets on the carpet, and it's Cody Easley with the ball up top. Back over to Beck Martin. trying to get a cutter going, and then Cole Cunningham with the ball, and he just hasn't been able to get free today. We've got two guys on him, and then he's frustrated, he gets the stick, and Cole Hansen comes away with it. Oh, and that's a slash in the back of the head, but no call.
No call. Wow.
Yeah, that's a surprise there was not a call, because that was obviously a slash to the top of the head. And that's a ball down, and Central Valley is going to get the easy roll back over to Brian Monroe. He's been their most consistent player today, I think.
He has. He seems to me like, I mean, he's a pretty good-sized kid. You can clearly see that. And so I think he's the drive and feed guy.
You don't want to see these kids start getting frustrated and start getting a little hacky out there. It kind of scares you a little bit when you see these guys starting to raise their sticks and hit head. So,
yeah, I mean, that's where the referees, they definitely have to step up to that. Any contact to the head needs to be called. Otherwise, it's going to get out of control.
Well, not looking real good right now. Monroe with a wild shot, backed up by number 9, Brandon Phelps. So Central Valley will retain possession. The game's kind of not looking as clean as it was earlier today. And they get it back over to Beck Martin up top, and he'll set the offense. He's got a move on Easton, a screen. Jackson Bowles with the switch.
Bowles, good defense. Really kind of surprised to see Jackson Bowles out there right now. He's normally an offensive midi guy. But maybe Brandon's trying to switch some things up a little bit.
Monroe with the ball, gets back over to Beck Martin. Beck Martin trying to find something not there, and he's going to take a shot here, Brian. Off the pipe.
Off the pole, wow.
That's unfortunate for him, but lucky for Wenatchee.
That was about 95 miles an hour, too.
Quinn Rounds with the ball. He's going to get checked here, so you better find some help in a hurry, and it gets knocked out of his hands and goes out of bounds to Central Valley. Yeah, so when you see your defender in trouble like that, someone's got to let him know where they're at so we can get the ball over to him. We got a quick shot there, 18, and looked like it was off somebody, and Cole Hansen comes away with it, but he loses it out of bounds. No, he saves it, but Central Valley's able to retain. He must have been out of bounds.
I think Sage got a block in there, man. He's one of the most handy guys with that thing.
Yeah, he's quick.
Oh, my gosh, he's a quick stick.
So, Wenatchee, the main defenders, Jax Tucker, Cole Hansen, and Sage Kreider, they all have a basketball background. Cole Hansen plays for the varsity Wenatchee team, and Jax Tucker's on the JV, but both of them have basketball skills, and the footwork's very important in defense.
It's very important, yes.
You got Cunningham behind the net, trying to find somebody back there. He's going to take it himself back out. He cannot get free. Jackson Bowles getting in the business out there. And he finds a shot and off the side of the net. That was Brandon Phelps with the shot.
And a great release.
Jack Myers able to get the ball free, and he'll just run it up to the box, and Wenatchee gets an opportunity to set up their offense once again. Roby Jorgensen back on the field as well as Jake Reiner. Reiner with the ball. Working it over to Tilly.
Looks like we have Sam Williams in the game as an attack now. Must have came in for Greg Coldy.
Sam with the ball, running it back the other direction. He's got a good shot. He hasn't taken too many of them, but I thought he was going to take one right there, but he lost the ball. And Central Valley is able to come away with that. It's Drew Frater. I haven't heard his name yet today. He came away with it, and he's going to run it up himself. And looks like he's going to get it all the way. He needs to get a step in that box, but he's able to find a midi there. Yep. That's Garrett Burns with the ball up top for Central Valley, and back up top to their main guy, Brian Monroe. So not the best defensive or offensive sequence there for Wenatchee, but didn't hurt him any, right? At least not yet. Jaron Thomas with the ball. Looks like he's going to get a shot off and bounces high over the goal. And Central Valley's there to back it up. Get a few more shots.
And you can see a little sense of urgency here in Central Valley. I mean, they're knowing they're down and they're not giving up. They still want a chance to win this game.
Definitely not.
I kind of see where they're feeding that center.
We got a flag down. I think it's a slash on Central Valley. Cole Hansen had the ball, and you do have a slash call.
Yeah, and we'll send it looks like Coach Brandon, he's definitely wants to make sure that he's ensuring a win here. He's putting his top 6 players in there for the man up.
Well, they have a set man up offense, and it seems like every time they go man up, they put the same guys on the field. And like you said earlier, I mean, these guys, they're all on the same page, and they know to run the right play.
Exactly. That's why you do that. Even on our JV squad, we do the same thing. I mean, you want these kids to work and play together. And so, because when you get an opportunity like this where you're a man up to score a goal, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm. The exception is Jackson Bowles in there for Mason Dahlbeck. Dahlbeck, obviously, with a hurt hand today. Ben Higley over to Roby Jorgensen with a rip, and Spencer Roth is there for the stop. Ball's down. Looks like down. Three Wenatchee guys. Somebody should come away with it.
You would think so.
And two of them
Higley
do it.
Comes flying out of there with it.
Reiner with the ball over Coldy. Coldy almost had a shot there. Back to Reiner. Reiner finds Bowles. Bowles back down to Roby. Roby behind the net to Tilly. Tilly's going to look for somebody. He's got, somebody got a stick on it, and it ends up in Spencer Roth, the goalie's stick, and Central Valley is going to come away with it and see what they can do. They got a nice clear. That's at Heckerman up.
I'm not sure where our midfield is there, but
they better get back in a hurry because they've got numbers. Central Valley, and the D stick takes the shot and bounces off, and Wenatchee comes away that Sage Kreider got the ground ball. Now Jake Reiner's just going to run it up himself. Okay, Ben Higley with the ball. He gets it down to Tilly. Tilly back to Coldy, back to Higley. Quick, and back to Roby Jorgensen. And I thought we might see a shot from Roby, and we do, but where is the ball? It bounced over the top, and Tilly's there to back it up.
Yeah, I think that thing went all the way to Miller Street.
So here you are. You're up 8-1 with under 5 minutes to go in this game, and Wenatchee all of a sudden has got a little bit of a spark.
Yep, I think, and this is good. I mean, they've got to keep the intensity going no matter what their opponent is, and I think that's why we're seeing the personnel we're seeing in there right now.
And Gray Coldy looked like to get a move and just disrupted there in front of the net, and the ball is down.
Call him in the crease, though.
Crease violation. So when an offensive guy goes around that blue circle, it's an automatic crease call and turnover.
Looks like Wenatchee's back in their zone right again here. Let's see if they can hold these guys from clearing.
Got Heckerman with the ball, Ben Higley on him, and he does not get a stop. It's guys get confused to where the 50-yard line is on this field so many times because it's just the off center on it. But Central Valley's able to bring it up and get the clear, and they get it up to Cody Easley up top. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham's going to take a shot. No, it's a pass, I think. Yeah, did they call that a shot? Nope, they called it a pass, which I'm pretty sure it was a pass.
I'm pretty sure it was a pass too. I mean, it didn't look like it was going on frame. So
no,
it looks to me like they're still in their man ride here. Central Valley's still in their man ride. I'm quite shocked.
Kyle slowly brings the ball up, the goalie for Wenatchee, and you'll see one of these attackmen move up, and it's Tilly over the middle, and he gets the ball. Nice pass from Kyle. It's nice to see them take their time and be patient on those man rides like that.
Yeah, and that is what you want to see right there. That means this team has worked hard at that, and that is the hardest thing to do because you get so excited that you want to get the ball up the field and go score.
So Tilly with the ball. Got Garrison Coley in the game now. Back over to Gray Coldy behind the net. He's going to get I thought he had a move and a shot, and the goalie's right there to stop it. Spencer Roth. He's had a lot of saves today. And, he's given up a few goals, but he's had a lot of shots taken on him. Brian Monroe runs it up for Central Valley. And he gets a touch in the box and see if they can set their offense here as we under 3 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Wenatchee up 8-1.
I like that Brian Monroe. He's a big kid, and, man, he is fast.
Yeah, and that's what you want in a midi, right?
Yeah. I mean, he sets his sights and just takes off.
This guy's hanging on the ball. He's got good stick skills, but man, Sage Kreider's all over him, and he's like, "Yeah, leave me alone. I just leave me alone. Let me get a shot off here."
Yeah, I know he's shaking his hand right now. I'm sure Sage probably got a little chunk of him, but there he is, right there on the crease. You see that?
Yeah, and I think that was a feed, and Kyle was able to get his stick on that and disrupt it. And we've got Easton Hudson run it up for Wenatchee, gets it up to Gray Coldy, get the touch in the box, and we've got some substitutions coming on. Roby Jorgensen with the ball. He'll set the offense up top as we reach the 2-minute mark in this game.
Jackson Bowles comes on.
Tilly with the ball back down below to Ben Higley and see if he can do something from the X spot.
Oh, nice move, Ben.
He passes it back up.
He had some separation.
He did, but he didn't take the shot. And Jackson Bowles is able to recover. That's a back push, but no call. And Jackson's able to run around with it. Sometimes you just let him play, you know?
Yeah.
He gets over to Roby up top. A little difference in size between the 81 and the 91, but Roby Jorgensen with the ball. He moves it left, takes a left-handed shot off the carpet and in. And Wenatchee goes up by a score of 9-1 with 1:26 to play in the game. So Roby gets his second goal. So we got a couple of guys, Tilley, Coldy, and Jorgensen, all with 2 goals apiece. Ben Higley and Jackson Bowles with the other 2 goals in the game. So I would say at this point, 9-1, minute and a half to go. If Wenatchee wins this face-off, they'll probably just try and kill the clock, don't you think?
I would think so. I don't see them driving in, even though these are kids out here and they all want to pad their stats a little bit too.
Well, you've got some other guys in the game. You've got Colin Wheeler in the game for the first time today. Jake Strom on the face-off, and it looks like Monroe's able to come away with the face-off. He's won a couple of them today. He's a pretty good face-off guy, too. He feeds over across the middle, and that's Garrett Burns with the ball for Central Valley. Beck Martin, number 10, back to Burns, and he's going to try and get a shot off here. Nope, they're just working it back and forth.
Boy, yeah, I'm quite surprised they haven't pulled a shot off yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're short time here.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to finish with, a good quality possession and a good quality shot.
Yeah.
Monroe, he's going to take a rep, and he bounces it in front and is unable to find the net. And this one is Sage Kreider's going to beat him to the line, I think. Nope. They say that Central Valley was there first. It was close at the end line there. It's good to see that hustle late in the game. That's Brandon Phelps with the ball. He flicks it back up to Cole Cunningham. Cole Cunningham just cannot get free. Colin Wheeler with the defense on that. He's still trying to get free for a shot. He's going to take a move on Easton Hudson, but he's the wrong guy to try and move on.
Yeah.
And that ball's out of bounds, and that's going to be possession Wenatchee. Isn't that right?
Yep. Should be possession Wenatchee with 25 seconds to go in the game.
So Wenatchee, I would guess that they'll just try and get this ball back down to the other zone and run it around and kill this clock.
Yeah, they just may bring Kyle out here and just throw the thing in the air.
You got Jake Reiner coming off the bench, and he gets the ball. And Wenatchee's just going to run it up and get a touch, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just run it around to X at this point. And here we go. Reiner over to nope. What do we got?
It should be a turnover.
No,
it's not.
It's still in his. What do we got going here?
Well, it's a turnover.
That's it. Game's over. So they were just running out the clock.
They were, but I'm pretty sure that he was supposed to keep it in the box within the 2-minute period, and he pulled it back out.
Even with a differential of 8 goals?
I'm not sure of that.
Well, anyway, the final score, it's 9-1 Wenatchee over Central Valley. We'll be back in just a few minutes to do a quick wrap-up on this game. We're here on the NCW Life channel broadcast of high school lacrosse. Welcome back to NCW Life Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley along with Jimmy Sherrill. Jimmy, Wenatchee wins 9-1 today to move to 9-1 on the year. A little bit of a surprise that Central Valley didn't put up more of a fight, but Wenatchee played pretty well.
You know what? Wenatchee did play well. Central Valley made some adjustments there after the first period. I really thought the game would be a little bit closer than what we saw today, but Wenatchee is definitely on their era of where they need to be heading into the end of the season and looking into the playoffs. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we had a quick start with 4 goals in the first quarter. Jackson Bowles got it going, followed by Coldy, Tilley, and then Coldy again. Then Tilley had a goal in the second quarter, 5-0 at halftime, and then Cole Cunningham got the 1 goal of the game for Central Valley early in the second half. We thought we were going to have more of a game, but then Wenatchee gets 2 quick goals into the quarter, Ben Higley and Roby Jorgensen, and then to finish it off in the fourth quarter, Jake Reiner and Roby Jorgensen again to finish it out, and they finish up 9-1. So Wenatchee off next week to Southridge for another. They start the second half of league play. They play Southridge, and they play Stanwood, and then Mount Si back here next Saturday, and that game's going to be broadcast back on NCW Life Channel.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all of those games. It's going to be a good game against Mount Si. Anybody from the other side of the mountain is always a good competition. So can't wait to come back next Saturday and have a great week.
Sounds real good, and hopefully Eric Grants will be back to help us out with the broadcast. And we sure appreciate your help here, Jimmy, and I appreciate it. And I hope we did a good job filling in. At least we tried anyway, right?
Yeah, we gave it everything we had.
Yeah. So
what you're getting paid.
Yeah. So that about does it here at the North Central Wash, our NCW Live Channel's broadcast of high school lacrosse. I'm Rod Higley for Jimmy Sherrill. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Valley Thunder Lacrosse on the NCW Life Channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley YMCA. We now return to regular programming on your source for local sports, the NCW Life Channel.